to record this. Yeah, I've started the recording
Right.
for both for Kathy and also for Nicole. And Nicole is a new MAAP volunteer. She came on an expedition about a month ago and then jumped right into this process. So, but what I wanted to do is give you all an update on the project and see if you all had any questions about units you're working on, because for tomorrow, the Zoom session we're doing tomorrow is for folks that are new or relatively new to the whole relabeling and digitizing process to the MAAP project. And what I'm going to do is, in an effort to not have people running away screaming, unlike the brave people that you all are, is I wanted to keep that one pretty simple and start with have them work on the northwest yard, which is pretty straightforward. Like this morning, I was going through uploading. Hey Beth, I was uploading units to the northwest yard, and I discovered a couple like MT 14, 17, and 18 that are an absolute nightmare. So I put those into a folder called MT 14, 17, and 18 confusion, and not going to have anybody touch those because I don't even know how to relabel those because they're so bad. So, but what I'm doing with the Northwest Yard is there's a whole bunch of units that are relatively straightforward. They start with topsoil, go down to subsoil. They're normal, and there's not a whole bunch of confusion with them. And what I wanted to have you all do is finish up everything that needs to be done in the south portico, which I think is basically done, and then work on the north portico, which you'll have tackled the relabeling of most of that, and then do some of the start with the digitization of that. And
Okay.
what I thought I would do is share screens, and I would show you all what's going on with some of those units. And I'm going to share screens here. And am I sharing screens?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to start sharing screens again. Should be screen one, share, and then
well, I don't know, that's the Zoom screen.
Okay, I'm going to bring, I don't know why it does that. Can you all see?
Yeah, I'm seeing a screen now. It says I can barely read it because I've got my reading glasses on, but it's still not helping.
Okay, what do you all see the map right now?
Yeah,
I don't see a map.
I just see the files.
Yeah, files on the left with kind of yellow boxes on the side on the left, and then there's one big screen with something across the top, which I can't really make out because the letters are real small. Oh, now
There's the map.
Yep, there it is.
Okay, you can see the map now. All right.
Yes.
All right. I'm not sure how. Okay, cool.
So you map of the house, big house.
Map of the house, and there's blue and red.
Yeah. Oh, the porticos. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Well, this one, actually, I'm going to switch to this map right here, the overall IMLS map. And this has all the units. I'm going to turn off project areas. This has, you can see now it's just the units in green that you see.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So for the south portico, you can see for the south portico, this area right in here, it's pretty much done. You'll have digitized all the units in this area, which is great. And then the north portico, which is up here, this is what you all are relabeling right now. And that's the area that is the units that go from 634 to 636 all the way down to 1259. And so these are the units right here. I think Beth, you had pointed it out. We're not in the Google sheet. I've added those to the Google sheet. So those are in there right now. And the northwest yard is gonna be all this area right in here. So all of this area that, let me see if I can draw, use a drawing. If you can, you see me drawing the green line right here?
Yes.
So it's all of these units right here. This is going to be the north west yard. So that's the northwest yard. And then this right here is the north north portico. So so what I'm going to have you all do is work on the north portico right here. And then for folks that are beginning, and probably Nicole, if you tune into this later on, I'm gonna have Nicole, I'm gonna have you work on the northwest yard, the green area up here, because these units in here are pretty straightforward. And what I want to do is have the have you like Kathy and Dean and Beth, have you all work on the area that is clear all this. Have you all work on the area that is the, you know, basically areas that where you've got some units that are from earlier seasons and other, it's a mix of different seasons and can be a little bit confusing at times. But then also what I want to do is have you all begin to work on units that we basically, we need to play catch up on a whole bunch of units through this area. Like there's all these units on the back of the main house that have not been done. Basically anything that's not shaded green on this map needs to get done. And what I was going to have you all do is work on, after you finish the north portico right here, is work on an area called the bathroom, which is the units up in this area. And this actually, this area, is this area survey? No, I don't see it. This area actually does have a report associated with it, the bathroom units. And if I go over here, yeah, these units right here, let me go in here and delete this filter, save. So the bathroom units right here, this one has a report that's associated with it. And I'll send you all a copy of that. So what I'm going to have you all do is, while some folks are working on the northwest yard over here, I'm going to have you all finishing up the north portico and then tackling the bathroom project. And then after that, getting into some of these units that are just kind of scattered around. So we'll approach that bit by bit. But what we need to do is basically, you know, finish up those units that are associated with the main house restoration, but are smaller projects that, you know, that you all can pretty much work in many ways independently with asking questions of me, and want to have the new folks working on one project so that they're not jumping around, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense.
And so the training can happen in a way, like with the northwest yard, there's enough units up in this area right in here in the northwest yard where new folks will spend probably a month or so relabeling these units. And if I put everybody, including you all, on the northwest yard, you all would probably finish relabeling these in about 2 weeks. And then there would be some of the new folks wouldn't have had the number of reps on some pretty simple units. I think that's caused some folks to get a little frustrated. You know, they'll dip in and out doing relabeling, and all of a sudden you all will come in and finish all the relabeling and you're on to the digitizing. And then they get kind of shell shocked and don't keep up with the project. So what we'll do with this is probably I have to think about what to do with the Slack. And that's another topic I wanted to talk with you all about. But before I get into Slack, I wanted to see with the North Portico, if you all had any questions that you had that you wanted to address. And I can either keep the screen up, or probably I'll what I'll do is let's see, you can see we're on the North Portico right here. Can you see the North Portico screen right now? The Google Drive?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, you can see that. Okay, awesome. So what I did for the North Portico, you had suggested that this was, you told me this was missing, Beth, is I put in all of the 600 units into this because those weren't in there. And
that's the one I just did today. 629.
629. Okay, that's great. Yeah. And yeah, it looks like these are all good. Yeah, these are all there. So
Yes, I didn't check that, but I assume they are.
yeah, no, they're all there. So, and I realized I put in the date. I shouldn't have done that, but fortunately for these units, this was done before we had multiple inventory numbers, so it'll be okay.
Mhm.
So, because I can't put in the dates for the units because, like, for example, the MT 1270 or 1270 features 744. There's multiple inventory numbers. All those were taken out on different dates. And so it means that you'd have a repetition of this one unit, this one unit strata, you know, on 5 different lines. But anyways, that for anything before, gosh, it was about May of 2020, 2004. We only took one inventory number out, and we didn't start dividing all the samples into different inventory numbers, if that makes sense. So,
Oh, really? Just, oh, I see, just one big inventory.
there's
number.
just one big
One number and everything thrown in there.
Yeah, yeah. And that's
Oh.
where like for some of the stuff I'm gonna have you all working on, there are multiple dates where there are changes, like in June. And I really should do a timeline for this. This would help you all, is to do a timeline of big changes that happen with recording, like in I think it's May of 2004. That's when we start doing multiple inventory numbers for
2004.
for a single strat. And then for example, I think it's in April of 2006. That's when we switch sheets
Mhm.
and we go from strata
Cards to-
cards to the strata sheets. Yeah, I have to think about, you know, making a timeline for that. Yeah, I was thinking it'd be good to have a yeah, timeline for various things. Then there's a certain date where I can't remember. I need to look up when this date was. I think it was before 2005. We would take multiple pictures of the same unit strata, like for opening
Yes.
and closing, because
That was certainly true in the one I just did.
Yeah, I saw some of those.
and for those, all you need to do is save the best one and then delete all the rest, because otherwise, you know, we don't want 3 pictures of the same opening strata. And so, and delete on the Google Drive is a duplicate of what we have on the server. So you're not deleting any of the permanent records. These are all records that are specific for these units. And we've got backups of everything here at Montpelier. So, I mean, that's where, if you all deleted all the photos in a folder, you just have to let me know, and then I could re-upload them. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, don't do that, but you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
so it doesn't hurt anything. So,
There were, I don't want to belabor this, but there were a couple of cases where I didn't delete all of them because there were two photos that were clearly different and showed some of the surrounding units in addition to just the unit of that I was working on. So
yeah,
Is that 629?
this is
No.
628, but
yeah, well,
looks
I
like this is one that
629 is the one I worked on. And anyway, but at the most, you know, it was just there were a couple of cases where I left two photos in for a stratum
Yeah.
because I thought they were different enough to warrant leaving it in, both of them.
Yes, I had the same situation.
You know, it's just kind of, I just sort of made a judgment call, but if it was,
I'm going to that example right now, Dean. Which one, do you remember which one it was?
well, you can see where, you know, where there's two right down. Yeah, well, there's one right there. So I left both of those in. That
So
one
there's that one.
and that one.
Yeah, no, that's a good one to do because it showed.
I don't know. I just thought it
Yeah.
showed, you know, the adjacent units, and that could be of interest, you know, that brickwork and all that. So
And I
don't
like
know.
how you did this. You kept this one as photo, just PH, because it's
Yes, and the other was PH2.
PH2. This one is good to have PH because it shows
Yeah,
the majority, the unit fills up with the majority of the frame. And this one, PH2, is one that's a detail we probably won't link to.
kind of ancillary, I guess.
Exactly.
Or
So
whatever
maybe
the word is.
PH2 is good.
So
But
that's what I did. I did that in a couple of cases, I think there. Oh, and then the very first one, the opening, I didn't, yeah, so you know, there's the one with the grass on it, that's clearly the opening.
an opening, yeah.
And then the next one is,
Yeah.
it's also called opening, but they've taken the grass off.
Yes, I've seen that too.
So you know, that one, it was.
Yeah, this one, this
So
is, I don't
I
think
wasn't
this,
real. Go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry.
I think this is this unit right here in this
Yeah.
photo is this one right here. Because you can see the trowel is pointing to this. This is a really bizarre photo. It's fine to keep
That's
it.
confusing, then.
It is very confusing. Yeah,
Yeah, that one too.
they just shifted their camera.
So, okay, so then the one you've got up on the screen now probably ought to just be taken out. You think?
Yeah, it's not really needed. Yeah, I would say I'm just gonna for this
So
one.
don't you just delete it then?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Or
delete
remove
it. I'm gonna delete it.
That one. I just, yeah, I see. I didn't notice what you just said about.
Yeah,
I
and it's
didn't,
fine.
I didn't see what I was looking at. I guess I didn't look carefully enough.
And then
Okay,
there was,
that's good. I'm glad we did that because I wasn't real sure about that.
and I think, see, Kathy has this one, 628, for example. Like this one right here, there's these two profiles, there's this profile, and then there's this one. One of these can be deleted. So what the profiles are we always want are the ones where you can see the walls straight on. So
Yes.
this
Yes,
first
not
one,
at an angle. Yeah.
this is better.
Well,
than this
that's
one.
at an angle.
So I'm gonna delete this one.
Mhm.
I'm gonna remove this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's another thing with all this. But for example, this one, you know, this is profile south wall.
Mhm. Oh, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one, I'm gonna remove this one right here because it's not as good. And well, you know what though, with this one, you can't see into the feature very well. So I'd keep that one.
Yeah, yeah, that's good because you can see down in there.
You
Yeah,
can see down in there.
That's
And-
that. Yeah, that's a good one there.
This one, this profile right here, this might be a
Yeah.
good profile for feature 183.
Yeah.
So what I'm
Maybe
probably
it
gonna
needs I
do-
don't know, maybe it needs to be copied and put under the feature too.
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. It's
I mean, you could leave it where it is, but I
I'll
don't know.
leave it where it is.
She may have done that already. I don't know.
Feature 183. This is 183. This one, if I'm going to rename this one, feature 183
Mhm.
dot ps profile south there, and that now this one is a profile. So cool. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, with all this, it's a judgment call, but definitely deleting the duplicate ones is important. And if you ever have a question about it, you could just do a ask me in the Slack chat. So I'm trying to think if there are other things with all this. Yeah, the duplicate photos, and oh, if you're ever if you ever have a plan view that has
Mhm.
more than one feature in it, copy it and label it by the feature number, because feature
Yeah,
numbers are
I
important.
did that too with this one.
Yeah, there's a couple where I went back. I think, Beth, did I digitize in the South Portico these little paling scars for you? Oh, you're muted, Beth.
Paling scars. What's that again?
That was on the South Portico. There are some paling scars in some of Beth's units, and Beth really couldn't draw them in because you can't zoom in far enough to digitize them. So and also there are 3 of them that had the same feature number. So what I did is I did it in Art Pro, and then added the circles and put them all made them into one polygon, because you can join those, and it had one line, and then Beth was able to enter all that stuff in.
Now, I still have a problem with that
I
because
remember that now.
where you connected 3 of them, it
Uh-huh.
only let me enter one set of information, but there were cards for all 3 of them.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Oh,
So I
there-
don't know if you want to go back and separate them. There were 2 numbers, I think 122 and 123. 122, there were 2 linked together, but I had 2 cards. And 123, there were 3 linked together, but I had 3 cards. So I just entered the information for the first card.
I got you. No, I will. Thank you, Beth. I will go. I didn't realize that. I'll go back and separate those.
Okay.
And what? Yeah, what we'll need to do is probably for the feature. Boy, I'll have to think about that when we do the feature, but I will separate those. I'll make a note to go back and separate those.
Okay, and then I can enter
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
cards.
Yep. And then then the question becomes, Beth, is it'd probably be good to duplicate the photo for each one. Do you know what I mean? Because that way you'll have a opening photo for each one.
Okay.
And then
I can't remember whether there were photos for each one or not. I think some of them there were, and then some of them there weren't.
That one is tricky because the opening photo for those features are going to be whatever the strata they intrude into. And so it would be I don't know if there's an opening for that. I think I went back and did some work on that, Beth, and you could see I put opening photos for all those, and you could just duplicate those. So and is there a space for closing photos for a strata? I don't think there is.
You mean to enter on the map?
On the form, on the map.
I don't remember anything.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think there is either. That's
Well,
more for a feature.
No, just opening.
Yeah. What where you do the closing photo for a feature is on the feature form, and you all don't fill out the feature forms.
Right.
Yeah, because that gets, with the feature forms, you really need to use ArcPro for that because of digitization processes, and it's not really well suited for the Arc Online. So that's why we don't do the feature form. And the same with the profiles, is you really need to use ArcPro, the full GIS package, to do those. So cool. All right, I'll go back and fix those. Beth, thanks.
Thank you. I appreciate
Sure.
you drawing the circles though,
Yeah,
because they
yeah.
were way too small. I couldn't do them.
Okay, all right.
I tried.
Yep. And what I'll probably do is yeah, I'll just break those apart. I'll break those apart. So and I guess the other thing that I wanted to go over with you all is on Slack. And I'll go into Slack for this. But for example, that's the crew Slack. Yeah, here's Slack right here. So you remember there's the two channels, relabel and digitize.
Mhm.
If you like, for example, Beth, you had a couple of questions here in digitize that were on the north portico that were on relabeling. So
Yes, I wasn't paying attention.
okay, cool. Yeah, I copied
It's
those.
just, I apologize. It was just a mistake on my
Oh,
part.
that's all right. I copied those over to relabel, and I'll probably but yeah, just wanted to make sure, because I felt, I was worried that was going to be confusing because I was answering it in relabel and the answers don't show up in digitize. So, but I think that's, having these conversations be separate in digitize and relabel is going to help with having the new folks work on relabeling, because probably I imagine a lot of your all's time is going to be in digitize, because digitization takes a lot longer. So
Okay.
and yeah, so but do you all have any other questions? Like I said, before you got on, Beth, I was telling Dean I wanted to do this session before tomorrow's session because I knew you all would have questions about the north portico, and I didn't want to bring those up with the new group because it would just get really confusing. They'd have an information overload you know, with all those those questions.
Yeah.
For basically what I want to talk about tomorrow is the relabeling process for the Northwest Yard, and give a little bit of background on what the Northwest Yard is. But even starting out, I want to just give the basics of like how you get started with relabeling, like, you know, and I want to ask you all that, you know, what's the easiest way for you all to get into like the folder? Do you go to the relabeling guide and click on links there, or just how do you all do it?
Let's see. I usually first I open the unit folder, and then, well, or I go in. I can't remember what these, you know, what I do is I find the Google sheet, the relabeling guide, the digitized guides, and you know, and then, so what was your question again?
I guess what's
I don't know. I just bring up everything I'm
I
gonna
just
need
do it.
to do,
Oh,
whatever
you just do it, okay.
I don't know. It's
Probably-
not really. It's working quite well. I mean, if that,
Mhm.
I can't remember the names of all these things
Yeah,
necessarily.
when I go into the drive, the spreadsheet is always across the top, so I can go into that. I just click on that.
Okay.
To get to the units, I usually start at the top level, the mansion, and then go into the right place, like the south portico, and then to the unit that
Okay.
I'm working on. And then for the map, when we do digitize, I pull up the instruction sheet and go down to where it says web map, and that's how I get into the map.
Nice. Yeah. I'll probably have people use like, kind of like what you all are doing. I'll have them start with a relabeling guide. And I think I'm still sharing screens here with a relabeling guide that like if I go to the north, I'm going to go to, the north portico, the guide for relabeling. That has a link to all of the folders right here. So South Portico and North Portico. And so you go to North Portico and there it is all right there. So yeah.
Yeah, I usually have a printed copy of that
It's
right
nice to
next to
have
me.
that one.
This one
The
right
one you got up now.
Mhm.
So if you're working on the North Portico, it's nice to go into the North Portico folder and then have everything you need to work on the North Portico, which is here,
Okay.
along like this one is. This for me, this works perfectly.
Okay. And for the folks starting out, I'm just going to send them the link to the unit relabeling guide, and then they can go to, and I'm going to get rid of the South Portico because we're pretty much done with that. And then I'm going to have, I'm going to do South Portico is pretty much done. I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to say, experienced, what should I call you all? Experienced MAP team or veterans? I'm not sure what to call you all. So, and then the projects, and that'll be North Portico and bathroom, and then make this into tabbed right here, and then the new MAP team members projects, and this is going to be the Northwest Yard. And then that one, I've got that one set up here. Get link, copy link, unit relabeling, and insert link. There, and so they're ready to go. This one I have not set up yet. It's an empty folder right now. I've got the Northwest Yard convenience list, but I've got to bring all the folders into this. So, but yeah, that so I'll stop sharing screens. But that was the main thing I wanted to go over and make sure that I'd answered your all's questions about any of it, and also if you had any questions about what y'all are looking at with the South Portico or the North Portico.
I don't think I have any particular questions. We should start digitizing the North Portico now. I mean, all of the relabeling of, as I see it, of the North Portico is either done or people are working on that relabeling. It's been, in progress. It is in progress or relabeled. So it seems like the next step is to set North Portico up for digitizing.
Yeah, let's see. I shared screens again. Can you all see the Google Drive?
Yeah.
So the
Yeah, so just adding the columns to the spreadsheet would be good.
Yeah, the digitize the two columns.
Oh yeah, let me do that now. Yeah, and also for the North Portico, let's see, it looks like
I think
Jasmine I think was working on this. If one of you all can just do this one, Jasmine, I'm gonna
okay, I can start working on it. So it just needs to be relabeled. Which one is that? MT
626.
626. Okay,
And then
I can, unless Beth, you want to do it for some reason, but I can.
And it looks like Nicole,
No, you can go ahead. I'll start on the
can-
digitizing.
Yeah, right.
looks like Nicole was working on this one, and she's just about finished, but she must have had questions on these guys right here. Oh, and this reminds me
Thing is she if somebody if she's not working on MT 626, somebody probably needs to tell her that somebody else is going to be finishing that, because, you know, I mean, just to explain to her what's
All right, Jasmine.
What's
Jasmine
going-
she hasn't done
You
work
do-
on this for a while. Like Jasmine, I think the last time she did work on this was early
I
October.
don't want to just, I don't want to grab something and then the person who's been working on it doesn't understand why I did that, you know?
Yeah, no,
So-
I'll write Jasmine a note. I'll send Jasmine a note. The other thing is, these others are, Kathy has a couple that are outstanding,
Yeah,
and it might be that I need to go in and correct these. It looks like these are pretty much done. But I'll check these
She,
out.
she may have been waiting till the spreadsheet was updated, because that's what I did. I just
Oh,
left mine
okay.
as relabel until the spreadsheet was there, and then this morning I cleaned it up.
I got you.
Yeah,
Okay,
me too.
cool. All right, I'll go ahead and add these in, so they'll be done. Or Kathy, you're probably listening right now. You can just go ahead and do that. Add those to the spreadsheet. But there is one thing I wanted to bring up to you all, and is we originally had, in the beginning of the project, had a company scan all of the strat cards and the graph paper plan views and profiles. And they did a really nice job of making the plan views and profiles that were on graph paper into JPEGs. But since then, we've been working with Helen, and then also with another volunteer, Ron Fuchs, on scanning here at the office. And there's no option on the copier to make a JPEG. It's always a PDF. And with a PDF, you know, most of the time they're sideways like this, which is really frustrating because you can't really see it that well. I'm going to need to go back afterwards and convert all these to JPEGs. And I haven't found a good solution for rotating these in Google Drive. And I've looked up applications to do this, and you gotta upload a widget or an add-on for Google Drive to do it. And I don't know if that's just beyond what kind of we should be expecting people to do.
I have done that in the past, but I don't remember really. I'd have to look through my notes to see how I did it. And some of it, let's see, it was, I can't remember the PDFs. One of them, I think the PDFs I could rotate and the JPEGs I couldn't, or
Yeah, I think
or vice versa.
Yeah, the JPEGs you can rotate, but the PDF you either have to use, I don't know if Adobe Acrobat, which is free, allows you to rotate them and save them, or you have to have the full Adobe package, which most people don't have.
Yeah, I was using some other, so I don't remember the name of it now, but something that
Beth, what do you think about this?
and I did that for a while, but I haven't done it, so I don't remember how to do it.
Yeah, I don't really. The only thing I can think to do is download them to my photo program lets me rotate and then upload it again. I don't know if that would work.
Can you do that with a PDF?
Well, these are JPEGs, the ones that you're showing right
these,
now.
These are JPEGs. That's true. These are in this binder, they're JPEGs. But when we go to, like, if we go, actually, oh gosh, where was it? Was it South Portico? No, these are all JPEGs. Yeah, it's in the Northwest Yard. Like I've got I don't know if you can see this file folder on the screen right here with the PDFs.
Yeah, I had problems when I had to merge cards.
Yeah.
Or separate cards. I can't remember which one it was, but Adobe wouldn't let me do it unless I paid for a full-blown copy. But if I downloaded it and changed it to a Word document, I think it was a Word document.
Okay,
I was able to separate them. So I don't know if we
Yeah.
could do something with that.
yeah, I think it's gonna get pretty complicated. Like, for example, this one right here, this is, I don't know if you can see my screen. With this, what do you all see on the screen now?
Off to the right, I can see a drawing.
Yeah, and it's sideways. This is a PDF.
Yes.
And there's really no way to rotate this unless you open it in Adobe Acrobat. So,
I was using something called Doc Hub.
okay.
It was, and so, and then I have some instructions on here's how to set it up and use it. Procedure assumes you're using Google Chrome as your browser. Open a folder, right click on the document, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
I have some instructions, but it worked for PDF. It didn't work for both types of documents that we use.
All right. I'll look up Doc Hub because I have seen that one in my search.
It was called Doc Hub, and it
Doc
worked
Hub.
quite well. As I said, and that's about all.
Okay. I'll look that up and think about that.
Yeah.
And it might be that we just give that as an option to people if they want to, and if they don't want to, they'll just leave
Yeah.
PDF that's rotated on the side, and we'll have to fix it later. So, but
I've had that with some of the pictures too,
Yeah,
where
it's a
they're
little,
sideways.
yeah,
And that's frustrating.
yeah, no, yeah, with the pictures, with any of these, if you have to rotate them, you have to download them and then upload them again to the Google Drive. And just like I don't want to start overwhelming people with instructions on the first like go around. So but yeah, we'll get it figured out. Maybe I'll do that as a part 2 for folks that get into it.
Yeah, I may hate myself, but maybe that's something that like I could do. Just go back through each folder, look for the ones that aren't right and try to straighten them out.
Yeah, that's
See what I'm
true.
saying is maybe assign that to just one person to do or 2 people to do.
Yeah. That would
Because
be
once you learn
incredible.
how to do it, then it should go pretty fast, but it's
Then it would
learning
go-
how to
it
do
would
it
go
that's the
very fast.
frustrating
Yeah.
part.
Yeah. I mean, it would the problem is that the ones that are PDFs. No, the ones that are PDFs. So the nice thing about Google Drive is the ones that are PDFs. You can see they still appear, and it just shows as a PDF right there. So, but I'm not sharing screen right now. Yeah, that might be the way to do that, Beth. I like that. So, we'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to upload the Northwest Yard, and I'll send you all in Slack a link to a couple of folders that have these PDFs, and see what you all can do. And just
Okay.
start numerically at the top and move on down. That'd be great. And the only thing you need to convert is the graph paper ones. Convert them to a JPEG and rotate them.
Okay.
All right, that'd be great. That'd be a huge help. I think that would really move things along nicely. So I'm gonna, like, as soon as I get off the Zoom call here, I'm gonna upload these and I'll let you all know when they're uploaded.
Okay.
So, and I guess for everybody else who's not on the call, for Nicole, I'm going to have you move into the newbie team for the Northwest Yard, and you'll be on the Zoom call tomorrow, or I'll send you the recording for that. And then Kathy, you can do what you want. If you want to do help with the PDFs, or if you just want to start digitizing the North Portico, that'd be great. So, and I'll send a summary of all this in the Slack as well. But
Okay. I don't think I'll be there tomorrow. I thought I was going to be able to make it, but I don't think I can.
okay, all right. Well, I'll send the recording out to everybody.
All right.
But the nice thing is we have about 10 people from the previous expedition that are interested in joining. So want to, I guess try to make the transition as smooth as possible for all them. So I'm excited to have more folks getting started with this. So, and what I've been doing is I've been giving a lecture to every expedition about this process on Wednesday morning, fueled with donuts and coffee. So, but well, cool. Well, good seeing you two, and looking forward to the meeting tomorrow for those of you all that can join.
Okay.
Okay. Well, if you have any other questions, hit me up in the Slack. All right.
All right. We'll see you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.